discuss school resource officers funding program. Dr. Reyes, did you have something that you wanted to offer in that regard?
Okay, thank y'all for giving me a few moments. I don't know that I've ever spoken before such a distinguished and intimidating bunch before, so I didn't know y'all were going to be sitting that high. Anyway, I do want to read a letter that I've crafted for each of you, and I know that you obviously could read that on your own time, but I would like to read it for the record. The letter says, "Dear members of the Scottsboro City Council, this is one of the most important topics for schools and communities is that of school safety. With that said, we currently have added some additional layers to our security measures within the schools to include the following. Number one, secure access doors at all schools and at the central office. Number two, we've added a security fence at SJHS, that's the junior high, to join the two external buildings. That's the lunchroom and the gym with the main building, and then we have a rave panic out for all of our schools. While we're pleased with the results of these measures, we're always in the process of doing all we can to provide additional options to assist in protecting our faculty, staff, and students. One of the latest measures that has been at the forefront of the school security debate has been the introduction of a Sentry program that allows schools to have an armed administrator at school. While I applaud the efforts and sentiments behind this measure, I'm not comfortable with arming our school administrators in the Scottsboro City School System. It is my belief that a trained school resource officer, or SRO, is the best option that we have in terms of providing protection for our faculty, staff, and students. For the past 12 years, we've had 2 SROs that are provided by the City of Scottsboro through the police department budget. We're very thankful for those provisions, but are always looking for methods to fund additional officers. So it is with that thought that I would ask for your consideration for the following. Number one, there's an annual cost for school resource officers. Salary and benefits is about $65,000. What we would like to consider is number two, the possibility of an opt-in program included in billing for city-provided services. For example, we all get a water, sewer, and gas bill. I get one every month. And again, I'm just using that for an example. Currently, there are about 6,600 customers, that's individuals, homes, businesses, that pay a water, sewer, gas fee. So for example, and much like many of us get pamphlets from colleges that we've attended that ask for $5, $25, $50, those type things. Just for example, if there was an opt-in, which would be voluntary, as you'll read in number 3, but if there were 6,600 customers who all opted in at $3 a month, that would be $237,600 per year. That's if all 6,600. Now some would, some wouldn't, some might even do more. Again, $3 is just an example. Now the opt-in program would be voluntary and it's provided to individual customers and businesses. And again, that includes the option to possibly give more or to give less. And of course, people could opt in and opt out as well. Number 4, funds from an opt-in program to be used exclusively for school resource officers. What we would like to see is at some point in time, at the high school, 2 officers, while we could share one at the junior high in Collins, because of their proximity, it would be great to have one at each, one at Caldwell and one at Nelson. And then 5 would be the additional funds needed for 4 additional officers, and that would be about $260,000 per year, plus vehicle costs. Now, I believe that it is our community's desire to provide the very best in terms of safety for our faculty, staff, and students. An opt-in program would provide the people of Scottsboro the opportunity to make this happen. Now, I'm extremely confident that the challenge would be met and done so in an expedient manner. And our community has always stepped up to the plate when it comes to our schools. And I have all the confidence in the world that this would be no different. I would ask that this be the starting point for a conversation to begin in terms of the provisions for additional SROs for our schools. It would be my honor and pleasure to assist the Scottsboro City Council and the office of the mayor in any way that I can in this endeavor. And as always, it's a great day to be a Wildcat, and I still believe that our best days in the Scottsboro City Schools lies ahead. So again, this is just a conversation starter. We've seen some things like this in other towns, and it's not necessarily a new idea, but it's something that I just want to bring to your attention. And again, I would offer any assistance that I could, but I believe the safety of our schools is something that's very important. I know I've spoken at times with the mayor since I've been here. I've spoken to Chief Dahl. We've talked about safety measures. Mr. Light at the Water Sewer Gas has been very helpful in terms of giving me some information. So again, I want to tell those gentlemen that I appreciate them and the help that they've given me. But again, this is something that we really believe is something that we might want to consider. Again, I'm just not really in favor of the Century program. I'm sure that you are aware of how that works, and we certainly could go into more detail even tonight about that program, or maybe at some other time if you'd like to speak with me. But again, we just would like for you all to consider that, and I certainly would take any questions if you have any.
Thank you, Dr. Reyes. Any questions or comments?
I'd just like to add that we've had this discussion ongoing for several months with Chief Dahl, and I had reached out to Mr. Light with Water Sewer Gas, and one of the things that, and we've met multiple times, that Water Sewer Gas has upgraded or implemented a new billing system that would allow us to work with them closely, and it would just, I think we've talked about the school system would lead the charge as far as getting information out, and we've talked about different ideas of how to, we've even involved Clint with our IT department about how to create that file, that database. A lot of that already exists. Some people would feel like we do a one-time contribution, some it may be a line item on their bill, and some people will choose not to participate, and that's fine. That's why it's an entirely voluntary program. And one of the things that I think we all agreed on is we would not expend any of these funds till we had salary in place for 1 year for one officer, whether that be the start of the school year or it be the start of the second semester of this coming year and would roll into the first semester of the next year. We've even looked at the scenarios. Chief said, what if the funding drops off? And we've talked about that. So been a lot of discussions and a lot of work and a lot of thought